Take It Slow Homestead. I'm Carol and it's time to mow again, but you know what, before I do that I really want to show you how the garden's doing. It's coming up on our first average frost, which is September 20th. Today is the 18th, but this week it looks like we're gonna be safe from the frost. I don't know what's coming next week yet, but for this week, thank goodness we still have another week to keep our gardens growing. So what I want to do is give you a little garden tour and just let you know how things are going right now in the garden. First of all, here are the cucumbers, and as you can see, they're still small. I didn't get them planted as early as I should have. However, there. So right there is a little one starting. And there's a couple more on that plant too. Over here on this plant, I've got a pretty good sized one right there. Not huge. There's my hand. But it's pretty nice. So this week of continued warm weather is going to be really good for these cucumbers. The parsley is doing great. I planted some summer squashes. They are called golden scalloped squash, summer squash, and I'll show you what they look like. So there's one right there, and it's a golden color. It's the right size. It's right, ready to be picked. However, I have noticed several other kinds of squash, summer squash, that I got from the same package. So I will show you one of those. Here's a white scalloped squash from the same package of seeds. So it's a mixture. If we look back in there, there's another white one. There's actually one over there. You can see it through the leaves there. I've picked a couple that are the white ones, but they're not flat and roundish like a saucer like these others. They're tall and slender, so it's crazy. All from the same package of seeds. This is the winter squash. There's the biggest one. It's called Buttercup. Dark green on the outside, dark orange on the inside. And you know what? Looking at that stem, I think it's ready to be picked. And I have a few more of those, not quite that big. Alright, we'll take a little break here and say hello, Kit. What's up, kitty? Hey, Kit, look up here. Good morning. The potatoes are doing really well. And they haven't started to die back yet, so I haven't dug any up. I have some canned potato flakes in the big number 10 cans that I got, and so I'm just eating those until these are as ripe as they can get. And here's some marigolds to cheer up the place. These are perennial delphiniums, and blue is my favorite color. So I really do like these. Aren't they pretty? In the raised bed, this is the celery. We'll get a little close-up of this one right here. Doing pretty well. Not too big yet. There's my finger. But it's getting there. So I planted several of these. And if they all have a chance to mature, I will have plenty of celery in my freezer to use in upcoming soups and stews and things like that. My peppers are doing pretty well, and I'm happy about that. There's a pretty good sized one right there. And then I noticed another one back in here. A couple of them actually. Ooh. See that one? And that one. I've been picking these yellow beans, so we'll get a close-up of some of them. Yeah, there's one. Really nice. Some back in there. I've gotten quite a few of those and put them in the freezer. Here's my little carrot patch. I thinned about 2/3 of it, but I didn't get it all thinned. So there they are. That's about how far apart I put them. There's my hand, my fingers. They're hardy, so they'll stay good in the ground for quite a while. I planted 2 sunflowers at the end of this raised bed, and I was out of town for a couple of days. And when I came back, I noticed that beautiful bloom up there. And now today, I see that the other one has also opened up. This will be food for my chickens. This is my asparagus patch that I planted a few years ago, and it is getting tall as we're heading into the cooler season. See that? It's as tall as I am. Right there. Let's take a look at the grocery row garden. First of all, there's this apple tree on this end, and they are doing well. We have another little carrot patch here. The raspberry bush. I had a little handful of raspberries this year, and I noticed that the deer also got their share. A few more carrots here in this little patch. Then we'll go up here to the peach tree, which is doing well. There's onions, more carrots, more onions, some marigolds, more onions, and carrots and onions over there on the other side. The apple tree on this side, this is the Red Delicious, and they're getting more red. They're not quite ripe yet, but they're getting there. And there is a big bunch of them right there. And there's some more. This tree is actually pretty loaded right now. If you remember, this is the strawberry asparagus patch that I've been working on this summer, and some of the strawberries have grown better than some of the others. So I did plant 3 or 4 different varieties. That's the reason, I think. And then also there are different soils in each one of these planting beds. There's that bed. There's that one right there, one up there in the corner, and then the bigger one right there. And if you remember, I planted some asparagus seeds in old canning rings, and I just wanted to show you how some of them have been germinating. Let's see if you can see some of those little sprouts right there. There's another one right there. There's one right there. Over here in the larger bed, they have germinated sooner, therefore they're bigger right now. So I'll show you some of these asparagus starts. And these are growing just from one seed in each of those canning rings. If you can see them all along there. So, success. I'm happy about that. And I have been getting a few strawberries off of these strawberry plants. And I've discovered that the ones that give me the biggest strawberries are called Fort Laramie. Here are the tomato plants in the No Dig No Till garden. They have grown really big and green. There's been blossoms, and there are blossoms on them now, but not one tomato has started to grow on these. So, something is lacking. I planted some tomato plants under my pergola right here. Behind those chairs there's a couple of plants, there's a couple over in the corner. But the one that my son gave me, the plant that my son gave me, is right here, and it has been forming fruit. So there's a couple of tomatoes right there that are turning, and a green one, and there's a couple more green ones right there. That's nice. But the ones that I planted, there's no fruit on that one, or that one, or that one, or that one. That one looks kind of thirsty. The new chicken pasture in run number 1 is growing, starting to grow very well. Well, that's the garden tour for today, and hopefully we'll have at least a week of warm temperatures to come so that it can help our gardens keep growing, keep producing for as long as possible. And now I gotta get back to mowing. And the day is half over already. But even when you take it slow, you can accomplish a lot. Just keep at it. Thanks for watching.